If you've ever looked in the mirror and not recognized yourself and hated what you saw, this video is for you. My name is Maddie and I'm an online health and fitness coach, and I've helped over 500 women become the absolute best version of themselves through taking care of their body, not restricting their favorite foods, and being able to feel confident and empowered in their bodies. But it wasn't always like this. I have been through the ringer with health and fitness. I've gone through many different struggles, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. How did I get here, and how did I come up with the system and figure out exactly what to do in order to lose weight without restricting your favorite foods? Because trust me, I have been in the restriction cycle. I've tried all the fad diets. I know exactly how you're feeling because I've been there myself. So I wanted to talk about my story. So let's get into it. Growing up, I was an athlete. I played sports my entire life. I was super active, so I never had to worry about what workouts I was doing or what I was eating because I was just super active. I was naturally pretty lean, and I didn't care about what I was looking like. I didn't care about what I was putting into my body. I didn't think about working out all the time. It was just innate. It was just something that I did, and I was able to eat pretty much whatever I wanted to until it stopped. Once my basketball career ended, I just felt so lost and frustrated. I started gaining weight because I wasn't as active and I was still eating pretty much the same, because as athletes, we're able to eat a lot. We can eat a lot. Our coaches literally just tell you to eat a lot of carbs, fuel your body because you're burning a lot of calories, so you just need to eat a lot. And no one teaches you how to actually eat, what your body needs, whether you're working out a lot or not. And no one teaches you how to transition from being an athlete your whole life to being a normal person. And that was really hard for me. I really struggled not only with my identity, but also with my body changing. I didn't know who I was outside of basketball. That was everything. When someone asked me, who are you or what do you do? I'm a basketball player. That's what I do. I'm an athlete. And then it just stopped one day and I had an identity crisis. And then when the weight started coming on, I just felt so frustrated. I didn't even recognize myself. I didn't know how I got there because it felt like it happened overnight. So I went onto YouTube and I started researching how to lose weight and what I needed to do in order to lose fat. And there were so many different things out there. I remember being so overwhelmed. Track your macros, do keto. You can't have carbs. Carbs are good. You need carbs. Cut out fruit because it's too much sugar. You need to eat fruit. There was just so many different things, and I didn't know where to start or what to do, and I felt so overwhelmed. So I started going to the gym with my older brother. He was into health and fitness and I wanted to work out with him, but I didn't want to get bulky. So I started doing lots of cardio, and I was doing lightweight, heavy reps, lots of HIIT workouts, and I wasn't seeing the changes that I wanted to. I was going to the gym every single day, but I was so frustrated because I wasn't losing weight. Started eating really healthy. I was having all the healthy meals. I was meal prepping. I was doing everything and nothing would work. I wasn't seeing the changes that I wanted to. If anything, I was still gaining weight, and I felt so frustrated. Then COVID hit and I moved home and the gym's closed. So what did I do? I started doing cardio every single day. I went to the football field near my house and I ran sprints for at least an hour every single day, and I was obsessed with my Apple Watch. The calories burned. I needed to burn X amount of calories every single day. And then I started tracking my macros and I restricted myself. I tried to eat as little as possible. I Googled how many calories should I eat, and it gave you a range, and I did the lowest number that it gave me, and it was miserable. I was starving, but it was working. All the running was paying off, all of the restriction was working, but I was miserable. I lost my period during this time. I had no food freedom. I started being terrified of food. I was over exercising. I had no energy. I wasn't sleeping well. And I remember there were times where I went over my calories by a few, little bit, 100, maybe 200 calories. And if I went over my calories, I went and ran at night. I would work out every single morning and then run at night. And I remember taking Sundays off, and I couldn't wait for Sunday to happen because I was miserable. I hated my workouts, but I still made sure to get my steps in on Sunday. I still made sure to sometimes still run on Sunday, even though I didn't want to. And I remember being so miserable because I thought that's what I had to do. I was restricting my food and I was just miserable. I was terrified to go out to eat. When I moved back out from COVID, my friends would want to go out to eat and I would tell them I was too busy or I already ate. I was making up these lies. I stopped going out with my friends. I started going to bed really early and I was just miserable. But the weight came off. I lost a lot of weight very, very quickly, but it was unhealthy. My digestion was terrible. My gut health was terrible. I had no energy. It was awful. And I was just frustrated because I didn't want to gain weight, but I wanted to eat more food. And so then I started binge eating. So I was really good during the week, but then I remember a couple occasions where I would have a cinnamon roll and that would lead to having 2 or 3 and then raiding the pantry and eating everything in sight. If I allowed myself to have a sweet treat or if I allowed myself to have something, it would lead me to eating everything in sight because I couldn't control myself because my poor body was starving. It was telling me it needed more fuel, but I wasn't listening to it. So once the gyms opened up again, I started lifting weights and I was terrified of getting bulky, but I started researching and learning and I fell in love with feeling stronger and building muscle and looking more toned. And I wanted to learn more. So I decided to get my personal training certification. And through that process, I learned a lot about our bodies and how they work in lifting weights and nutrition. So I hired a coach who helped me with my nutrition. He was just an online coach. It was years and years ago. He emailed me my macros and I started my first reverse diet where I ate more food. And I remember just feeling so good because he was giving me permission to eat more food. I'm very dialed. I will listen to a coach. If he tells me to do something, I will do it, even if it was hard. And I was eating more food and feeling better, having energy, and I felt and looked the best I ever did. I was confident, I was strong, I was building muscle, I was learning so much, and I realized that I didn't have to restrict my favorite foods in order to lose weight, and I could live my life, and I got the strongest I ever had been. I mean, I was strong, y'all. I could rep out 135 on bench, okay? I was squatting 225 for reps. Like, I was really, really strong, which I'm really proud of. And then I tore my labrum and my bicep tendon and I had to get surgery. And that was honestly one of the hardest things that I've ever been through because I finally felt confident in my body for the first time in years. And I felt strong and I felt good and I loved the gym. I loved working out. I loved taking care of myself. And I started my online fitness coaching business to help other women, and I had to just stop working out. I got surgery and my mindset was still not fixed. I wasn't working with a coach at the time. I started under eating again because in my mind I wasn't working out, so I shouldn't deserve to eat a lot of food. So I restricted again and I lost a lot of weight very quickly and I lost all the muscle that I built up over the years. I was skinny. I was just skinny and I hated my body because I had no muscle. I wasn't strong anymore. I was just a stick and I was miserable again. And I went through that cycle again. And I remember just being so frustrated because I had finally built the physique that I wanted and this surgery took that away from me. And I felt the same that I did when I left my sport. My identity was gone because I tied my identity first to sports and then I tied it to weightlifting. And once that was taken away from me again, I went through another identity crisis and I was miserable. I was miserable and I feel very bad for the guy that I was dating at the time because I was rude, okay? I was very sassy. It was a very dark place in my life because I just was unhappy with my body. I was unhappy with my physique and I had no energy again. I just wasn't eating, I wasn't fueling, and I couldn't work out. And so I remember the day after my surgery, even though I wasn't supposed to, I went to the gym and I did cardio yet again because it's all I could do and I just needed that sense of control. And I tied my identity to my body, the way that I looked and the way that I felt in lifting weights. And I started posting on social media at this time because of my job. And so I just felt so lost and so frustrated. So I hired another coach and someone who did everything, the accountability, the structure, the workouts, the nutrition, all of that stuff. And I started building my muscle back up and I finally got to the point where I was building muscle again and we reverse dieted and I continued to gain weight and I felt confident again. I felt strong again. And then unfortunately, my coach took the reverse diet too far. So I gained more weight than I wanted to. I've never been super big or overweight, but I was uncomfortable in my body, but I knew that I needed to go through that. I was reversing, I was feeling stronger, I was feeling good, I had more energy, and I gained a little bit more weight than I wanted to, but I still felt really, really good. And I just felt healthy, and I knew that it was necessary. And so from there, I maintained that for a whole year. I continued to increase my calories, continued to build strength, and got back to a point where I had muscle on my body again, and I was feeling good. I had food freedom, and I had that balance. And then it was finally time for my first cut, which was amazing. My body finally responded for the first time. I went into a healthy calorie deficit with my coach, to where we slowly decreased my calories, slowly increased cardio, and I got to my absolute dream physique. This was last summer. I felt so confident, so good, because I took time to build muscle and build that foundation and fix my body internally. And then the external followed, and I was able to get my dream physique and actually learn how to maintain that. And I've gone through small phases of bulking and cutting, and now I can really manipulate, my body to where I'm at, but I'm able to maintain it because I did it in a healthy way. And this took years, and that is why I do what I'm doing today, because I don't want you to have to take years. I know how frustrating it is to hate your body, to not feel like yourself, to be frustrated, to be caught up in the cycle of binging and restricting and all or nothing. And so that's why I work with women who want to lose weight without giving up their favorite foods, and who want to just live their life, but also feel confident in their bodies. In the point where I wasn't healthy, I've been two ends of the spectrum, where I was a little overweight and where I've been underweight, and neither of them are healthy. I want women to feel good in their bodies, and I think that is the most empowering thing ever. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to lose weight because you want to feel confident in your body. Don't think it's a bad thing to want to lose weight to look good while you're naked. I don't think it's a bad thing to want to just lose weight so that you can wear a dress and not think twice about it. Nothing is worse than changing your outfit 10 million times because you can't find something that you feel confident in, or canceling plans because you don't even want to go out because you don't feel confident. Nothing is worse than thinking about your body the entire time that you're on the boat, or hiding your body, hiding your stomach, and not being able to be fully present because you don't feel confident. And I have been there, and all of our clients have been there, and now we get to help women feel confident, the absolute best version of themselves, without having to restrict themselves, because you can have both. I thought it was one or the other. I thought you could enjoy your life and enjoy your favorite foods, or be skinny and love the way that you look, but you can have both. I promise you that, and that is what we do in Strong for Life. And so if you related to any of this, please message me on Instagram, Maddie_Bunker. Message me the word ready, and I'll just see how we can help you, if we would be a good fit. But I promise you, the most confident version of yourself is only a few months away. If you do the right things and follow the plan that is for you and your body, it's only a few months away. The only thing holding you back is yourself, investing in yourself, because it's hard on your own. I get it. I'm literally obsessed with helping women feel confident because I know how important that is. And I get a lot of hate on social media because I talk about being skinny and confident, but I was an athlete. I thought I could do it on my own, and it took me years until I finally hired a coach myself and learned those things. So do not make the mistakes that I did. Hire someone to help you get accountability, because that's the fastest way to get there. And the worst thing is to waste years and years when you could have that dream physique in a few months. You could stop hiding your body in a few months. You could start wearing the bikini and wearing whatever you want without thinking about it in a few months if you start now. If this resonated with you, I would love to hear your feedback. Any questions that you have, please comment below. Make sure to subscribe. It really helps support my channel. I appreciate you guys, and we will catch you in the next video.